Hi everyone, welcome to Pearl's Kitchen. If you like my video, give it a thumbs up, press the red button to subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so you'll be notified for my upcoming video. It's all free. Thank you. Today I'm going to show you how to make another Anglo-Indian dish. It's called ball curry. In Hindi they call it kofta curry. And this goes with coconut yellow rice, which I'm also going to show you. But before we start cooking, I'd like to put us Anglo-Indians on the map. Many people don't know what Anglo-Indians are and where they came from. So I work as a carer for the elderly, and every time I meet a new person, as soon as I speak, they try to figure out where I am from. So they ask me, where are you from? And I say India. And they always say the same thing, that, but you don't look Indian. So that's because I'm an Anglo-Indian, so I explain to them. So the Anglo-Indian, where did they come from? That's our great, great, great grandparents during the British Raj when they were in India. So one of the grandparents must have got married into an Indian family. When they had children, their children were known as Anglo-Indians. So when the British were leaving to come back to England, their children, because they grew up there and studied there and they had friends there, and it's such a beautiful country, they just didn't want to come back. So they stayed there and kept having children. So that's how the Anglo-Indian community started to grow. So that's why I try and show you Anglo-Indian dishes and Indian dishes, because Anglo-Indian dishes are completely different to Indian dishes. So enough history lessons for today, and let's get some cooking done. Okay, for the ball curry, what we need is, here, to start with, we need onions. So here I've got 2 chopped onions, and then here I've got 8 to 10 peppercorns, 8 to 10 cloves, 3 small cinnamon sticks, 2 stalks of curry leaves. Here I've got a bunch of coriander, which we need for garnishing later. And over here, I've got 4 tomatoes that I've blended in the mixer. And in the tomatoes, what we'll need is tomato puree. 2 tablespoons of tomato puree we'll add to it. It gives it a nice red color. And then we need 3 potatoes that I've cut and put it in water and cut it in quarters. We need garam masala. We need salt. And for the masala paste, what we need is, I've got 10 cloves of garlic, 2 inches of ginger, 1 shallow teaspoon of turmeric, 1.5 teaspoon of chili powder, and I've got 1.5 teaspoon of cumin seeds, and I've got 3 teaspoons of coriander powder. And here I've got 2 finely chopped green chilies and also finely chopped coriander, a fistful. I've got a slice of bread, 1 beaten egg, water to soak the bread. And here I've got the mince. And this is half a kilo mince. I've got beef mince. You could use lamb or goat or even chicken. And here is a small piece of ginger. It's like less than an inch, and we need that to grate and put in the mince. Now we're going to do this step by step, stage by stage. So first thing we're doing is, I'll put the gas on. So here in the pot, I've got a ladle full of cooking oil, and that's already in there. So as soon as the oil gets hot, we start with the dry garam masala. Okay, so you put the cloves and the cinnamon stick and the peppercorns in there only. Okay, and give that a stir. Just stir it for less than a minute. And then you put the onion. Put the chopped onion. And now let the onions get nice and dark golden brown. Okay, so while the onions are getting brown, we do the usual. We make the masala. Keep the mince out of the way for the moment. We need the masala first. Put the ginger, the garlic, the turmeric powder. Remember, if you're running short of time, you could actually use the ginger garlic that comes in the bottles as paste, and you could use the cumin seed as powder. That's for quickness. But I like to do mine from scratch. Okay, so you put all of that in there, and then you put some water, and then you make masala paste. See now the onions are nice and dark brown. At that time, now you put the curry leaves in there. Give it a stir, few seconds, and then you add the ground masala. And that's it now. You keep frying the masalas for at least 5 minutes. Now see the masala is starting to look nice, browning it, and it had 4 to 5 minutes. Now at this point, we add the tomatoes. Like I said, you need tomato puree around 2 tablespoons, and give it a stir. And then you need to put some garam masala, 1.5 teaspoon of garam masala. Now you keep browning this for another 5 minutes. Another 5 minutes, and we also need to add some salt. Salt to taste. This with the spoons. 1.5 teaspoon, or one if you want. And now keep browning the masalas for another 5 minutes till the oil separates from the masalas. Okay, now you can see the masalas have had it another 5 minutes, and all the masalas have separated from the oil. That's how it should look like. At this point, we need to put the gas off, and now we need to concentrate on making the balls. Okay, so here the mince, what we need is before we start forming them into balls, the slice of bread that I showed you and the water, you just soak the bread into this water. Just let it sit there while we're adding other ingredients. So now that's the 1/2 kilo of beef mince, and that's the piece of ginger. Need to just grate the ginger in there. That's it. Start mixing stuff. Tissue paper. Okay, now we need some more garam masala. 1/2 teaspoon of garam masala. And 1/4 teaspoon of salt. A little bit more. Like my salt. Okay, that's the 2 chopped green chilies. You put that in there. And the coriander. Okay. We're waiting for the bread to soak. So now just pick out the bread from there. And now gently squeeze out all the water. There you go. As much water you can take out. You need plain white bread for this. Just break the bread into here. Okay. And then take the one beaten egg, put that all in here. And now comes the twist. Now the masala that we made here. Now just take 2 heaped teaspoons of that masala. So all the flavor from the masala will go inside the mince. Still hot, so be careful. Now we have to get messy. So everything is in here now. The egg and the slice of bread will bind, that's the curry leaf, will bind this. I mean the ginger and the garam masala. Got lovely flavors in here. Now, some people make the balls and fry them and then put them into the curry. But I don't, because once you fry them, it seals it up. And when it seals it up, then there's no flavors from the curry won't be able to go inside the bowls. So we won't be frying them. Just keep mixing it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now what you do is take some oil, any oil, put them in your hands. And now depends on what size you want. Just a little bit less than a golf ball size. Very easy and very quick. There you go. Just don't roll them too much and don't bind them too tightly either. Just loose round balls. And do this to till all the mince is finished. There you go. I've made all the mince into bowls, and now we've got the gas on back again. And now we need to make some gravy. So what we do is, depending on how thick you would like the gravy. Okay, that's 1 mug gone in there. I need a bit more than that. Yeah, 2. Okay, so that's 2 mugs of water gone in there. You can put the gas high now. And now let the water come to a boil. It's only when the water starts boiling that we'll start adding the mince and the potatoes. You see it's starting to boil, but I can see it's a little bit thick. So we need to add maybe a quarter of the water more. That won't take long to boil because it's already on a boil. Okay. So now when it's boiling, you lower the heat. It should still have a rolling boil. So now, so now we start adding these bowls, because if you lower the heat too much or if it stops boiling, then all the mince will just break up. So start adding all the mince bowls. You can see it's still boiling, the water. That's good. all of them can go in there. This is absolutely delicious. Okay, give it a little stir. Make sure it's always on a boil. And then add these potatoes. Just wait. Give it another stir without breaking the mince. Bring it up a bit because the cold potatoes will stop it from boiling. And as soon as it starts boiling, lower the heat again. Okay, it's coming to a boil now. There you go. So you can see it started to boil again. So now again start to lower the heat, but keep it boiling. A gentle boil. So now you put a lid on it and let it cook for 20 minutes. Okay, let's give this another stir without breaking anything from the side. See, the balls are still nice and round. At this point, if you think that the water's gone down, you could add a little bit of hot water from the kettle. At the moment, it's all right. This has to carry on cooking till the potatoes are tender. Okay, so while that's still, the flame is right low. So while that's still cooking, I'll show you the coconut yellow rice ingredients. Now, in the pot, I've got 1 ladle spoon of ghee. If you can't find ghee, you can use butter. Okay, and over here, I've got 10 cloves, 10 green cardamom, 4 cinnamon sticks, 1 chopped onion. Got 2 mugs of rice that I'd washed and soaked for half an hour. We need turmeric or saffron if you want. We need salt. And in here, I've used 1 can of coconut. So, and I topped it up with water. So here it's 3.5 in total, 3.5 mugs of this liquid. So 1 can was coconut, the rest was water. Okay, so while the ghee is nice and hot, what we need to do is first add all the dry ingredients. It needs a few seconds and then you add the chopped onion. Now these onions don't need to get brown at all. Just need to saute a little bit. Just needs to be very light in color. Just fry it for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Maybe just have to sweat the onions in the hot oil. Okay. Now we add the rice. We don't have time to soak the rice. You can still just wash the rice into it. Now fry the rice for a little bit. Okay. A teaspoon and a half of turmeric. Okay, that gives a nice color, a nice flavor. And now you put salt to taste. Okay. teaspoon and a half. And you see it all nice and yellow. Put the gas low a bit. Don't want it to burn. Fry it for 2 to 3 minutes so let the rawness of the turmeric go away. And then you don't coconut. This point is, you just add all this liquid. There's another way I test to see if the water is enough because I actually never measure my water or salt because I make fried rice for, like I said, I do a curry night for my church, for the charity, and we cook for 80 to 100 people. And I make the rice without measuring any water. So another way to measure it is you just dip your finger in there, and your finger, bottom of your finger should be able to touch the grain of rice. So it should be to the first line of your finger. That's how much water. So that's actually perfect. If you don't want to measure water, you do it this way. Now what you do is wait for the water to come to boil. And as soon as it starts to boil, it's the same procedure like I showed you for other fried rice, but it's going to soon come to a boil. Okay, now you can see it started to come to a boil. And now once it starts boiling, it needs to go on the gas, whichever gas is the lowest, has the lowest heat. So mine is there at the back. So I always put it's underneath, it's like got holes in it, it's like it stops the direct heat to come. Or if you can put it like a flat pan or something. Or make sure the heat is right down. So now that's boiling, we can start put it, or like I said, you could put it in the oven if you want. Okay, that's it. So now that goes on the back burner because it's had because the rice was soaking for half an hour. So it will only need between 20 to 25 minutes. And while that's rice is now on the timer for 20 minutes, I'll put it for 20 minutes first. Let's see if we need any more water in this. I think we'll need to add a tiny bit of little hot water. Let's put it to the side. Not a lot, just a quarter cup or something. Give it a stir. Now at this point, the mince is definitely done. What we need to do is see if the potatoes are done. So let's take a knife and just stab into a potato. Yeah, maybe another couple of minutes. Give it another couple of minutes and hopefully will be ready. Okay, let's see how the potatoes are doing now. If you do need to add a little bit water, please add some more water. It needs like this sort of gravy. Okay. Yeah, perfect. The potatoes are done. Now all you need to do is garnish it with plenty of coriander. Put one fistful. Give it a stir. Then you put the gas off. And then put the rest of the coriander. And then That's it. You don't need to stir that. All you need to do is put the lid back on and let that whole curry rest for at least half an hour while your rice is cooking. Okay, let's see what the coconut rice is looking like. You take a fork. Yeah, it's perfect, absolutely perfect, and smells good. So you can put the gas off now. It's done ditching. It's famous. That's, you can get the smell of coconut and turmeric. It's back. That's had its half an hour resting time. The coriander, you see, it's still on the top. I mean, at this point, if you want to remove the garam masala, I do. Just put it towards the side. Look, each grain is separate. It's lovely. Then you just, there you go. The bowls are still intact, not broken. Take some potatoes. Some gravy. That's served typical Anglo-Indian style. I hope you all like this. Don't forget to put your comments on YouTube rather than Facebook. And if you don't feel comfortable sharing my link on your social platform, can you please kindly just forward my link on your WhatsApp group so more and more friends of yours can see these lovely, delicious recipes. So till then, stay safe and see you next week with some more delicious cooking.